From May to $30.00 to $50 trillion, 0 cents will be added to the XRP ledger, making each XRP worth $390.00. Yes, it was revealed by Forbes Business Insider. They said that $125.00 quadrillion will be sent through the XRP ledger every day, starting with $100 million, 0 cents on May 2 and going up to $300 trillion, 0 cents by the first quarter of 2019. 2026 XRP is now worth $39,818.00 each. Forbes also said that in a few weeks, XRP would be worth a huge $60.00. You're talking about how $30 trillion, 0 cents, will slowly start to flow into the XRP loan over the next 2 weeks. Do you understand? From the first quarter of 2026 on, there will be a huge $300 trillion, 0 cents, in daily deals. When we look at in the bigger view, we can see that XRP all over the world, people use the XMP database and the Ripple system. The World Bank is run by the International Monetary Fund, IMF. The IMF said that Ripple's XRP is the best cryptocurrency payment system and stated that they will use it to send money between the World Bank and several countries. I drew with yellow, pay close attention to the fact that Ripple is a real-time group selling its payment system, currency exchange, and network, which was built by the US-based tech company Ripple Labs. Ripple also lets international companies make cross-border payments by moving XRP through the Ripple network, which makes liquidity available on demand. The Federal Reserve has also made it clear that they want XRP to be able to make their FedNet payment systems blockchain work. Of course, this comes after the Federal Reserve and Ripple Labs met more than once. This part of the Federal Reserve report talks about how Ripple, a well-known company that helps with cross-border payments and distributed ledger technology for financial transactions, is expected to be one of the fintech companies that the Fed will now use XRP. This means that not only are institutions using it, but so are states and the Federal Reserve of the United States of America. These are just a few of the more than 19 central banks that have chosen to work with Ripple Labs, use and accept XRP, and have even bought XRP for $9.4 billion, 0 cents. It looks like this is something that takes place all the time. Now, before we go any further in the video, now is a great time to get some free XRP because it is about to reach a new high and has already gone up more than $10,000, 0 cents. People who watch this movie, use my link in the description to sign up for Apple, leave comments, but not in the area for comments. Click follow and share this. You can use up to $100, 0 cents in free XRP to buy more. It's free money. It's easy, doesn't cost anything, and only takes 5 minutes. I really think you should take the time. To sign up for Uphold and finish your deal, just follow the 5-minute steps in the description. After that, I'll give you up to $100, 0 cents in free money that you can use to get more XRP. The price of XRP is $2.30 right now, which is a bounce up. For Nix, it was almost $2.35, which is great because it shows how much we've come back from the low point. We'll get back to the same idea, though, if we wait. How much XRP costs? 19 central banks have bought XRP worth $9.4 billion, 0 cents. One of these banks is the Central Bank of Japan. They said they would buy back a lot of XRP around the world, saying they would do so for a sum of about 3.9 trillion Japanese yen. One of the big prices that was talked about, $390, 0 cents. For everything we talked about in this film, click here to watch this film again. You'll see why this study is important. This story also confirms that more than 200 banks have already chosen to work with Ripple Labs to begin using XLRP to send and receive payments, this study backs it up even more, says that Ripple is being seen as a normal way to send money around the world. Ripple has more than 200 banks and credit unions as members. Credit unions use XLRP to send money between banks, and people who use other currencies are starting to use Ripple because it lets them send money without having to connect with a partner bank. Also, this video of Bank of America saying that they only use accept for internal transfers proves that. Let's watch the video. And from now on, everything will follow the wave. In other words, they made their own safe coin. Bank of America used it for all of their internal work, as I said. It has 83 different rights, and some really cool stuff is on it. 30 trillion, 500 billion XRP, and all of it trades on RTX. Let's go. Look at my first estimates if you want, but the market as a whole is 1.4 quadrillion times that amount. You can already see that all of these types of assets are starting to move on the chain, and it's easy for people to become interested in money market funds, tokenized stocks, and more, and other tools like them. The help for stable coins, I can see DTCC, Euroclear, or Clearstream. One of them has to go digital for everything to be digital. When you talk about getting rid of cash, we can see that that has investments worth trillions of dollars that go up to tens of trillions of dollars. Also, this is a very small part of a huge business. 1.44 billion shares. The XRP inventory now has 30 trillion XRP. Brett Gulling has also said that Ripple has teamed up with more than 100 banks to use XRP for payments around the world. He said this again in that report and live on TV, saying that more than 100 banks, which is 100 times as many as before, have wanted to help with payments. I'd like to talk a little about the XRP letter, since that's where all the money will go. As of now, the most important DeFi token in the XRP letter and Polygon chain is the Ping or Watch token, which is also known as the ECTF token. It's really taking off, and big stores like Walmart and Amazon are backing it. Right now, they're adding to the XRP letter because there isn't a set way to sell crypto, and there could be a $20 billion 0 cents gap. The price of the token could range